Hi guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to The Wandering Reader. I decided I was going to vlog BookTube-A-Thon this year. I haven't vlogged a readathon before or kind of videoed any reading vlogs before, so I thought I'd give this one a go, see how it goes during the week. So it is day one of BookTube-A-Thon. It's about 12 o'clock UK time. I did a little bit of reading this morning before I got ready, so I started my first book, I'll try and get it, which is Pigeon English by Stephen Kelman. This is for the challenge to read a book with a person on the cover, so I've read about 50 pages of that so far. It's got quite a unique style to it. It's almost like the narrator is talking to somebody, and I think because he hasn't got a really good grasp of English, the way that he talks is a little bit different. So it took a while to kind of get my head around that, but 50 pages in, I'm kind of got that sorted now. So I'll be interested to see how this one goes. I'm going to continue reading this today. It's about 250 pages, so we'll see whether we can finish it in a day or maybe tomorrow morning or something like that. So I have got my cup of tea, can you see that? And so I'm going to go off and drink my tea and do a little bit more reading. I think the first video challenge was published this morning. Jessie from Jessie the Reader put a video challenge up, so I'm going to try and do that this afternoon, film it and edit it and put it up. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the day will bring. I'll check in with you guys later. Bye. Hi guys, so it's day 2 of the BookTube-A-Thon, and last night I managed to finish Pigeon English by Stephen Kelman. This tells the story of an 11-year-old boy called Harry, who with his mother and his older sister has recently moved over to the UK, and they've left his dad, his younger sister and his grandma behind. So I was expecting this to kind of jump straight into the kind of when he gets off the plane and what it's like navigating life in England, but it kind of does that and kind of doesn't. I think he's been living in the UK for sort of 6 months or so, and we first meet him when he has witnessed somebody being stabbed that he knows, and sort of the story centres around him and one of his friends trying to solve the mystery of who stabbed this boy. It's written in a really unique style that took me a while to get used to. Harry's English isn't 100% perfect, so he kind of slips into grammatical errors and things like that. So, but once I got used to it, it was absolutely fine. That was about 50 pages in. Yeah, I quite enjoyed this. I read afterwards that this is sort of based on the Damilola Taylor stabbing that happened in the year 2000 in London, and I can sort of see where that's coming from, which is why it's kind of, I'm more sort of going towards 3.5 stars now than maybe 3. I wasn't blown away by it, but I did enjoy it and it was quick to get through. So yeah, 3 or 3.5 stars, that one. And then this morning I picked up The Girls by Emma Cline. So this was the one that I had picked out for a hyped book. So I'm about 50 pages into this so far. Really quite liking it. Again, it's got quite a unique style to it, but I'm enjoying it. This is a bit longer than yesterday's one. It's about 350 pages, so I don't know whether I'll be able to finish this in a day, but I'm certainly going to do a lot of reading. I'm really enjoying participating so far. I put up my first video challenge yesterday, which was a lot of fun to film. I'm going to go do another one today, so if you haven't checked those out already on my channel, you should definitely go and do that. But we'll see how day 2 of reading goes. Hi guys, it's day 3 of the BookTube-A-Thon, and yesterday I managed to read about 250 pages of this, so I was pretty pleased with that. I've read another 30 pages today, so I'm hoping to finish it this morning and then get on to one of my other books. I'm not going to be doing the video challenge today because it involves acting and I don't know, but I want to majorly cringe at that. So I think I might do the Instagram challenge instead. but I'll check back in with you guys when I finish this. Hi guys, so I finished The Girls by Emma Cline. I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. It's a book about a girl called Evie. I've forgotten her name, but I only just finished it. A girl called Evie. She's 14 and she falls into this she doesn't belong to them, but she kind of falls into hanging around with this cult. Did I say it was the 1960s? I can't remember. But all sorts of different things go on at this cult, and because she's only 14, she's very innocent and naive, and she doesn't really realise the dangers of being in a group like this. So it's very much about loss of innocence, about you know, the different genders in the 1960s and how young girls could get drawn into doing things that they didn't necessarily want to do. Yeah, and I really enjoyed it, but it had a much darker side as well. So as you were going through the novel, you were leading up to something that happened, which obviously I won't tell you about. What I quite liked about it as well is that it's told from Evie's point of view at different moments. So you get Evie in the present, now that she's a sort of 40-year-old woman, and then you get Evie in the past in 1969. So kind of get the beginnings of parts. They're not called chapters, they're called parts, where you get a few pages from her in the present, and then we flip back to the past and kind of what happened then. Yeah, people are describing this as like the perfect beach read. It's not really that kind of book. When I think about beach reads, I think about easy, contemporary, sort of, not chick lit, but that kind of vein. And this is a lot more literary than that. And like I said, it had more of a violent, sort of dangerous edge to it. But like I said, I did really enjoy it, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. So this ticks off the challenge of read a hyped book. And for my next book, I'm going to read New Boy by Tracy Chevalier. I put this on my TBR as the book to read in one day. So this is, how many pages is this? About 180, something like that. So we'll see whether we can knock that one out. Morning guys, it's day 4 of the BookTube-A-Thon, and yesterday I finished New Boy by Tracy Chevalier. This ticked off the challenge, read a book in one day. And this is part of the Hogarth Shakespeare retelling series, and Tracy Chevalier has retold Othello in this book. But this is set in 1970s Washington, and it focuses around an elementary school. So the children that we follow are in grade 6. And I heard a couple of people talking about this and talking about the fact that they didn't know whether that particular premise was going to work, because Othello is very sort of adult in its themes and things like that. But I think Chevalier did a really good job of retelling it. And it actually made some of those themes a bit more poignant because they were being played out by children. It was really fun kind of noticing all of the little references to Othello along the way, so the names and the things that happen, and I love those little light bulb moments. So I think you'd definitely get a lot more out of this if you'd actually read or studied Othello. Yeah, although, you know, you could just read it as a sort of a standalone thing, but I did really enjoy it and I ended up giving it 4 stars. The book that I'm going to start today is The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord. This is for the challenge, read a book because of the cover. So I'm looking forward to giving this a go. I don't know whether I'm going to finish it today because we're going out shopping, and yeah, I'll only have a little bit of reading time this afternoon, so we'll see how that goes. See you later guys. Hi guys, it's Lindsay. It is day 6 of the BookTube-A-Thon. I didn't film anything yesterday just because I was busy doing a few bits and pieces. I filmed some videos yesterday and yeah, I was reading. So I did manage to finish last night The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord. This counts toward the challenge of read a book that you bought because of the cover. And I absolutely love this. I gave it 5 stars. I ummed and ahed about giving it 5 stars because it's YA, it's not really aimed at me, but I just thought it was such a good YA book. It's a contemporary. It follows a girl called Lucy whose mother, her breast cancer has just recently come back. That happens right at the beginning of the book, and her mother asks her, instead of going to their church camp, which they do every summer, she asked her to go to this camp called Daybreak, which is for troubled teens and young people. She really doesn't want to go at first, but she ends up agreeing to go, and it's just about her experience at Daybreak and sort of what it teaches her, and how she's dealing with things that are going on in her life at the moment. I just thought it was really, really cleverly written, so many important messages in here, and such a great book for young people to read. So really, really enjoyed this and ended up giving it 5 stars. And then I picked up yesterday evening, but I'd only read it this morning, The Colour Purple by Alice Walker. This is for the challenge, read a book about someone that's very different from you, and I've read about 100 pages of this so far, so I'm going to try and crack on with that today. Also, I haven't attempted to do any reading outside yet, because to be honest, in the UK, where I live anyway, it's been pretty overcast all week and about sort of 20 degrees C, which is not like really cold, but it's a little bit windy and it's not particularly pleasant sitting outside. Like if it was sunny, it would be fine, but yeah, because it's overcast, it's just a little bit glum really. But it's the last 2 days, today and tomorrow, and if I don't try it, then I'm not going to meet that challenge at all. So I picked up Disgrace, which I haven't brought upstairs with me. It's downstairs at the moment, so I'm going to take that outside and try to read sort of 50 pages or so of it outside today. Then I'll go do another 50 pages perhaps this afternoon. I don't really know, but we'll see how that one goes. Yeah, and then film the challenge that's come up this afternoon. I can't remember what it's called. It's, yeah, Books and Lala posted it, and I was thinking about spelling your name with books, and I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, I'll film that later on and put that up on my channel. So yeah, hope you're having a good BookTube-A-Thon, a good weekend, and I'll check in with you later, guys. Bye. So I thought I'd bring you outside so you can sort of see what it's like. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that because I put the front camera on, but it's pretty overcast out here and it's kind of spitting at times. So I've got a hoodie on, I've got some socks on, and I brought out my copy of Disgrace, and I'm going to sit here like a real trooper and try and complete the challenge of read a book completely outdoors. So we'll see how it goes. I'll check in with you guys later. Hi guys, it's Lindsay. It is the final day of BookTube-A-Thon, so it's day 7, and this morning I managed to finish The Colour Purple by Alice Walker. Really enjoyed this book. Was pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I thought kind of going into this that it was going to take me a while to get through, that I was going to find it kind of difficult to get used to the style that it was written in, but couldn't be further from the truth. Like I said, I gave it 4.5 stars. This tells the story of 2 sisters. One is called Celie and the other one is called Nettie. And at the beginning of the book, they are separated, so they're sort of teenagers at the time. And the book is told in a series of letters. So at the beginning of the book, Celie is writing to God. And then later on in the book, she writes to her sister and her sister writes to her. And it's very much about their lives and about how the difficulties they have to go through, and their struggles and their suffering. And it was just so good, so interesting, so well written. I learned so much from it, and I can't believe I haven't read this earlier. So if you're worried about picking up The Colour Purple, I wouldn't be. It's just a fantastic book, and like I said, I gave it 4.5 stars. I said yesterday that I was going to try and get some reading done outdoors. Well, after I signed off, I managed to read 7 pages before it started raining. So that wasn't much of a success. So I'm going to try and go out today. It's looking a lot sunnier. So if I just show you out the window, there's some blue sky out there. So yeah, it's a bit windy, but we're going to go out there today and see how much reading we can get done. And then the 7th book is The Breakdown by B.A. Paris. Because it's the last day, I don't think I'm going to manage to finish 2 books. But we're going to give it a good go, and I'll check in with you before the end of the day is out. Hi guys, so it's the end of Sunday evening and I managed to read half of Disgrace outside today. We had a little bit of a rainy bit in the middle of the day, so I read for a good hour, I would say, outside, and then I was sort of doing other things and that. So I managed to get half of the challenge of read a book outside done, which is not too bad, I suppose. I suppose I should have tackled this challenge a little bit earlier on in the week. And I didn't manage to read 7 books, but I read 5.5, which is absolutely brilliant for a week's readathon, and I'm really proud of myself. So there you go, that was my vlog and reading wrap up for the BookTube-A-Thon. I hope you enjoyed it. I've never done a reading vlog before, so let me know in the comments below whether this was okay or whether you wanted to see anything else. Yeah, have a great day guys, see you later.